All right, let's jump into another deep dive. Today we're looking at Irish Homes Parameswara Villas in Kakinada, India.
Hmm.
Our listener wants to know, are these duplex villas really as luxurious as they sound, and can you actually afford them? We've got this promotional piece from RealEstateSmile Consultancy, and thankfully we've got our expert here to help us sort through it all.
Happy to help.
Now, the head honcho at Real Estate Smile, VENUGOPAL, he's also the sales director for Irish Homes. So that's interesting, right?
Yeah, definitely something to keep in mind for sure. Could influence how we look at some of this information.
Absolutely. But let's just start with what we know, even the name, Irish Homes Parameswara. It's pretty grand sounding, wouldn't you say?
Brahmaswara, it definitely evokes a sense of, well, divinity, grandeur, something like that, in Hindu mythology. Definitely sets high expectations, for sure.
So are we talking like palatial estates here? Well, the location itself, Kakinada, it's described as like this vibrant hub in Andhra Pradesh. And get this, it's a designated smart city.
Oh, the Smart City Initiative. That's interesting, yeah.
What does that even mean?
It's a nationwide thing in India. It's all about, modernizing infrastructure, improving quality of life in certain cities. So for residents, this could mean better public transit, high-speed internet, maybe even a focus on sustainability, things like that.
Okay, so the location sounds pretty promising. What about the villas themselves? The promotional material it mentions, like generous living spaces, elegant bedrooms. Are we talking like sprawling mansions here?
Well, generous, that's pretty subjective, isn't it?
Yeah.
To really get a sense of scale, we need specific square footage, number of bedrooms.
Right.
Are we talking, your typical 2 or 3 bedroom Indian home? Or is this something more on par with international luxury standards?
Yeah, it's like they're tempting us with this delicious cake, but we can't see the inside. And speaking of tempting, they also highlight like this plethora of modern amenities and a fully equipped gymnasium. What does that even mean in practice?
Yeah, those are classic buzzwords in real estate marketing for sure.
Yeah.
To know if it's really luxurious, you need those specifics.
Right.
What kind of gym equipment are we talking? Is there a pool, a spa, a clubhouse? Are these things just for residents or are they shared? That's what really separates, the truly luxurious from just the standard.
Details matter. Let's talk numbers. These villas, they're advertised with a starting price of 85 lakh rupees.
Okay.
Now, for our listeners who might not be familiar, 1 lakh equals 100,000 rupees. So we're looking at a starting price of 8,500,000 rupees. In the Indian market, is that really what you would consider affordable luxury?
That's a good question, and the answer really depends. You have to consider average incomes in Kakinada, prices of comparable properties. What does this price point actually mean in this market? Like, is Irish Homes targeting a specific demographic with this price? Are there similar developments with higher or lower prices? It's all about context, really, to understand the value.
Right. Here's something that I found a little strange. There are no pictures in this entire promotional piece. Not even one, just text. That's pretty odd, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. That is a big omission. Especially for luxury real estate, visuals are key. Buyers want to see those, sweeping views, the finishes, the layout. Pictures really bring those marketing buzzwords to life.
It almost feels like they're saying, just trust us, it's luxurious. But without the visuals, it's like, okay.
Yeah, definitely raises some questions. But while they're missing pictures, there is one detail that did catch my eye. They've listed their AP, RERA numbers.
RERA numbers, what are those?
So RERA stands for the Real Estate Regulation and Development Act of 2016. It's a law, basically, to protect home buyers. Transparency, accountability in real estate, that kind of thing. Every project has to be registered, gets a unique ID number.
So this is like a good sign then?
Seeing those AP, RERA numbers, yeah, it's a good sign. It means the project is registered, compliant with the standards at least. Could give potential buyers some peace of mind.
Okay, so we've got a bit of a mixed bag so far. They're being transparent with the RERA registration, which is good, but no visuals, which, I don't know, it's a little concerning.
Yeah, it definitely adds a layer of complexity to this whole thing.
It does.
It's like we're piecing together a puzzle, but we're missing some pieces.
Exactly.
We've got this blend of affordable luxury, the smart city location, but then no visual details to back it all up.
Yeah, it's a real head-scratcher. But before we get too lost in the mystery of the missing pictures, I think we need to consider the bigger picture here, Who is Irish Homes trying to attract with this development?
Yeah, who are they going for with this?
Right. Are they targeting, like, young professionals?
Yeah.
who want that modern, tech-savvy lifestyle, the whole smart city vibe.
Yeah, that's a good point. Or maybe they're thinking more about families
Yeah.
who need the space, want a good community.
Right, and who are looking for that long-term value, that appreciation. Maybe it's both. Maybe they're trying to appeal to everyone, cast a wide net. But to really know if that's working, we need to compare this with other properties in Kakinada. What else is out there?
Yeah, like, are there other villa developments with similar luxury features, but maybe at a higher or lower price point? Knowing that would help us figure out if Irish Homes is actually offering a competitive deal.
Right, and what about the investment side of things? Is Kakinada a city that's on the rise? Are property values going to go up in the next few years? I think that's something that any smart buyer would want to know.
Absolutely. It's all about the potential for return on investment. Now, the Smart City designation, that does suggest growth,
Right.
which could mean good things for real estate. But we need to look deeper beyond just that label. What are the main economic drivers in Kakinada?
Yeah.
What kind of infrastructure projects are they planning? Those are the factors that are really going to drive long-term value.
So it's not enough to just be drawn in by that affordable luxury tagline. You really have to do your research, look at the whole market.
Yeah, due diligence is key.
What does this all mean for a listener who might be considering this development?
It means you need to approach this with, a healthy dose of skepticism
Mm-hmm.
and a real thirst for knowledge.
Yeah,
Don't just get swayed by buzzwords and vague promises.
right.
Demand those concrete details. Ask for floor plans, specifics about those amenities, find out about the developer's track record, all that good stuff.
Don't be afraid to ask those tough questions. And while you're at it, take some time to think about your own priorities.
Mm-hmm.
What are your non-negotiables in a home? What are the things that would make you say, this is it, this is the one?
Exactly. Figure out what really matters to you.
Yeah, is it spacious interiors? Is it that modern design? Maybe it's a strong sense of community. Once you know your must-haves, you can see if Irish Homes actually fits the bill.
Yeah, it's about finding that perfect match for your lifestyle.
Right, for your aspirations. And remember, luxury, it's not just about, being extravagant.
It's about so much more than that.
It's about creating a space that feels comfortable, inspiring,
Yeah.
that really reflects who you are.
You hit the nail on the head. Luxury is personal. It's about those details that enhance your everyday life, bring you that sense of joy and well-being.
This whole conversation has got me thinking. We're talking about luxury as if it's this universal concept. But isn't it really influenced by culture?
Oh, absolutely.
Like what's considered luxurious in India might be totally different from what's considered luxurious in, say, Europe or the US.
Yeah, cultural nuances play a huge role in how we see luxury.
Right.
For example, in India, family is so important.
Yeah.
So having those spacious living areas for big gatherings, that might be super valuable.
And in other cultures, having a dedicated space for like prayer or meditation, that might be considered essential for a truly luxurious home.
It's fascinating, right?
Yeah, it's so interesting how our cultural values and our personal preferences all get mixed together. So while you're thinking about Irish Homes, Paramaswara, think about how your own cultural background, your values, how those things influence what you consider luxurious.
Yeah, what resonates with you on a deeper level?
This adds a whole new dimension to our deep dive, doesn't it?
It does.
It's not just about ticking boxes on a features list. It's about finding a home that really aligns with who you are, with your aspirations.
Absolutely. It's about creating a space that feels authentically yours.
And that brings us back to those missing visuals.
Right.
We can guess about the layout, the features, but we're basically filling in the blanks with our imagination.
And that's where the potential for disappointment comes in.
Right. If the reality doesn't match our expectations, that affordable luxury might not seem so appealing anymore.
Exactly.
So to our listener, we really encourage you, seek out those visuals.
Yeah, definitely.
Contact Irish Homes, check their website, find a real estate agent who has pictures.
For your super tours?
Yeah.
Anything you can get your hands on.
Don't be shy about asking for those details. You have the right as a potential buyer to see what you're getting into.
Absolutely.
Remember, a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Especially in real estate.
And sometimes those visuals can tell you even more. Not just the aesthetics, but the quality of construction, the attention to detail.
Yeah, you can get a sense of the overall vibe of the development.
It's about getting a feel for the place, even before you go there. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Talk about the financial side.
Right.
We know the starting price is 85 lakh rupees. But what about those ongoing costs?
Yeah, that's crucial to consider.
What are the maintenance fees like?
Are there extra charges for amenities?
All those recurring expenses? they can add up fast.
Definitely. Got to factor those into your budget.
And while we're on the topic of finances, we can't forget about the legal side.
Right.
We've talked about the RERA registration, but what about other legal documents?
Yeah, due diligence, like we said before, it's super important. Before you commit to anything, review all the documents. The sale agreement, building plans, all of it.
Right.
It's a good idea to get a lawyer involved,
Yeah.
someone who specializes in real estate, just to make sure everything is legit.
It's about protecting your investment and avoiding those legal headaches later on. So we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
We've talked about that allure of affordable luxury, the importance of knowing the target audience, doing those comparisons,
Yep.
and of course, the need for due diligence.
We also talked about how culture shapes our ideas of luxury,
Right.
the power of those visuals,
Right.
and those upfront and ongoing costs.
It's been a pretty comprehensive exploration, wouldn't you say?
I think so.
But as we wrap up this part of our discussion, I want to leave our listener with one final thought.
Okay, listening.
It's interesting, right? We've talked so much of what we do know about Irish Homes Paramaswara, but we can't forget what we don't know. Those visuals, those details. It's easy to get caught up in the idea of affordable luxury, but without actually seeing those villas, it's hard to tell if they live up to the hype.
It's like, imagine reading a book review. It's full of praise, talks about the plot, the
Yep.
characters, but you haven't actually read the book yourself.
Right.
You're just going off someone else's opinion.
And that's always a risk.
For sure.
So what's our advice for the listener? Someone who's interested in Irish homes, but also wants to avoid, that buyer's remorse.
Well, the best thing, if it's at all possible, is to see it for yourself.
Yeah.
Go visit the development, get a feel for the neighborhood, maybe walk through a model villa if they have one, talk to people who actually live there, get their perspective.
There's really no substitute for experiencing a place firsthand. And while you're there, ask questions.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Talk to the sales team, ask about the construction materials, look closely at the finishes, the details.
It's all about those little things, things that don't always show up in the marketing materials.
Right.
What's the water pressure like? How's the natural light? Is there any noise from traffic or businesses nearby?
It's about going beyond the surface.
Yeah.
Really understanding what it would be like to live there every day.
Yeah.
Now, what if a site visit just isn't possible?
Well, there are still ways to get those visuals, thankfully.
Okay.
Check the Irish Homes website. Look for images, videos, anything like that.
Yeah,
See if you can find any real estate listings that feature these villas.
good point.
You might even come across a virtual tour.
Oh, that's true.
You can explore the property from home.
Technology can be pretty helpful in the home buying process. Now, before we wrap up this deep dive completely, I want to go back to something we talked about earlier,
Correct.
that idea of affordable luxury. It's catchy, but it's also subjective. It means different things to different people.
Absolutely. What's affordable for one person might be a stretch for someone else.
Right.
And luxury itself, it's always evolving. It depends on your personal preferences, cultural norms, all sorts of things.
So how can our listener figure out what affordable luxury really means to them?
I think it starts with looking inward. Take some time to think about what truly matters to you in a home.
Okay.
What are the elements that make a space feel special?
Yeah, what makes it stand out? Is it a high-end kitchen, a balcony with amazing views, maybe a quiet spot to read and relax?
Whatever it is, write it down. Make a list of those must-haves, those non-negotiables.
So you have a clear vision.
Exactly. And then use that list as you evaluate Irish homes.
Right. See if those villas actually offer what you're looking for.
If there are compromises, are you willing to make them?
It's your home, your investment, your future.
Don't settle for something that doesn't feel right. Just because it has those labels of luxurious or affordable attached to it.
Well said. This deep dive, it's all been about giving you, the listener, the tools to make an informed choice.
We've explored the information, pointed out the gaps.
Encourage you to think critically, ask the important questions.
And now, as we wrap up, we want to leave you with this. True luxury, it's not about the price tag. It's not about the marketing hype.
It's about so much more than that.
It's about finding a space that reflects your values, your dreams, your own unique definition of a good life.
Beautifully said. To our listener, we wish you all the best in your home buying journey. May you find a place that brings you joy, comfort, and a real sense of belonging.
Happy house hunting.